¿Qué pasa, mi gente? Welcome to another video. You have to be better at video to be better at business. So, in this video, I'm just basically going to be talking about exactly why, if you get better at video, your business will actually thrive. But if you've never seen any one of my videos, my name is Pedro Millan. I own 2 different social media marketing agencies that make multiple 6 figures every single year. And we have more than 68 million views per all of our clients across the board, 100 appointments booked plus that. And on top of that, we have a Grammy win with one of the campaigns that we ran last year. But I'm not trying to sell you anything. I just want you to be a better content creator so that way you can make money online with your content. But in this video, I want you to understand that if you get video, just overall as a concept or as just part of your marketing campaign, your marketing ploy, your marketing plan, to be quite honest with you, you'll be able to actually make a lot more money going into 2026. The reason why I say this is because a number of things, because there are so many situations. The first thing, there's so many situations and opportunities in which that you can implement video into your business to actually generate income. Why do I say that? So let's say, for example, Alex Hormozi, right? If you're watching this video, you probably know Alex Hormozi, or you probably know some of the people or the gurus that are out there that basically preach getting on content and whatnot. Alex Hormozi literally went on a webinar on YouTube and made $101.5 million from just 3.7 million sales in book sales for his book, The $100 Million Money Models, which is kind of crazy. And I literally have the book here. The reason why I say this is because literally the man sold all this stuff on a webinar, right? What does a webinar encompass? Video, live video, right? Which is kind of crazy, right? Because at the end of the day, you have to really understand the metrics as far as why does video actually seem like a pretty good vehicle just to sell stuff. The reason being is because long gone are the days that literally you can buy something based off of just an image, right? People will literally preach like, oh, like billboards are still working, this, that, and the third, everything is still on billboard, like, posters, this, that, and whatever. But more often than not, businesses literally go viral and their lives change forever because of the fact that a person actually saw their video, they resonated with the message, and then overall, they literally want to give their hard-earned money from their 9 to 5 or whatever it is that they're doing in order to provide themselves the product or service you're trying to sell them. But with video, you can see a bunch of different things or aspects around the product or service in the way that it's supposed to be held. Like, for example, if you're selling a product like the AirPods, right? You can see how they're made, you can see how they're used, you can see the ways that you can use them, how to use them overall. You can't really see that in a picture, right? So that leads the way to multiple opportunities that you can be using video in order to be making money online with your stuff. For example, if you were to use it for a webinar, you can do that. If you want to use it for a course that you want to develop, you can do that. If you want to do social media and develop a personal brand, you can definitely do that. If you want to develop a personal brand, then develop a community like on School or Kajabi, Patreon, whatever you want to do, then that's literally fantastic. However, the likelihood of that being successful as a business model, more so than anything else, is dependent on the quality of your videos, dependent on the value it provides to the other people. So if there's a video that actually provides a lot of freaking value to individuals that are basically watching your stuff on a consistent basis, they're going to develop a parasocial relationship with you. Which brings me to my second point. Your ability to develop parasocial relationships with a short form video or even a long form video is much higher in comparison to just a picture. Like, unless you literally are a photographer that's world renowned and you happen to be in a museum and you see their work and you're like, wow, this person is absolutely ingenious. Like, we're literally back in the 80s or maybe in the 70s or 60s or whatnot, where we just have TV, you know what I'm saying? And we don't have all these supercomputers that we basically use in order to make content on a consistent basis. You can't really develop a relationship with somebody in those contexts unless you're watching them and seeing their stuff on a consistent basis. The fact that we're actually using social media platforms in order to basically use that as a way to distribute our stuff is actually bonkers to me, to be quite honest with you. Because the thing is that, like, the more you see somebody, the more you see somebody talk, the more you see somebody interact with other individuals, the more you see them do stuff that you wouldn't necessarily know what they're all about prior to if you didn't see it for your own 2 eyes, the more trust you have with that person. Like, for example, I'll give you a very quick analogy. Like, let's say you had a family member, right? A family member that happened to be in your family, that doesn't make sense. A family member that you don't necessarily know. Well, let's say it's a distant family member, right? And then you happen to start seeing photos all over the place. It's like, oh, this is your uncle, this is your uncle, this is your uncle, this is your uncle. And you start hearing stories about your uncle specifically, about how crazy they are and how fun they are and how amazing person they are, right, overall. However, you're not going to have that genuine relationship with that person unless you see some sort of visibility or some sort of video or some sort of example of the stuff or the anecdotes that people are giving to you as the people that they're talking to you about them about. Does that make sense? So like literally if you watch a video of your uncle basically pranking your dad, you're going to be like, oh, well, that's hilarious. Like, I love my dad. He's interacting with my dad overall, and he probably was a good person because it seems like they're having a lot of fun. So therefore, that's the assumption. You're developing that parasocial relationship with the people on video based upon what you see, right? Literally, there's 58% of body language, 58% of communication is body language, right? And roughly, you can literally tell a lot of a person by the way they act, and the only way that you can literally be doing that is by seeing them on video, whether it be documenting or if they're demonstrating themselves exactly what they're doing. Everything else is verbal and obviously like dependent on another multitude of factors, but I'm not going to go into that. But the point still stands, is that if I see a video consistently of people doing things that I think is really interesting or doing things that are aligned with what people say, then therefore I feel I'm going to have a relationship with that person anytime that I see them, be like, oh, you're the guy that runs a 5K every single day, right? You're the guy that runs ultra marathons. You know, shout out to my people who love running. Like, oh, you're the guy who does courses. You're the guy who does SMMA. You're the guy that talks about making content online to make money, right? So my thing is, the quicker you start to get in the habit of making more videos, the quicker you start to making parasocial relationships with the people online that will actually give you money, their hard-earned money, in order to actually purchase your products or your services, or in any community that you are actually going to provide to these people, because they already feel, because of the fact that they've seen a bunch of your content, that they have a relationship with you. And if they align with you based off of your beliefs and everything that you stand for, then more often than not, people who give you money for the stuff that you basically provide them are going to be people within that wheelhouse, if that makes sense. Now, the last thing would be essentially like, if you get better at video, you basically become a better communicator, right? And I say this wholeheartedly because to be honest with you, I feel like I'm given the gift of gab. And not because I say so, it's because tons of people literally have told me this for years. Like dude can yap. Dude can talk about whatever, literally any topic, and just like literally carry a conversation, this sort of thing. Because I've literally lived a lot of life. I can't deny it. Like, I've lived a lot of life for a 29-year-old. I lived in Europe. I lived in Los Angeles. I lived in New York. I lived in Chicago. I lived in Florida, right? So my thing is, because I have so many experiences within a short amount of time, being 29 years old as I'm recording this, means that I have the ability to be able to communicate with people a lot about different things. Like, I could talk to a Vietnamese guy about how much I love their food, like whether it be banh mi and whatever they have over there. On top of the fact, I can talk to somebody from the Netherlands and be like, "Hoe gaat het, man?" and literally say like, "What's up?" in Dutch, and they're gonna be like, "How do you know that?" And then that leads to a conversation. It could be somebody from Venezuela, and I could literally be like, "Hey, you know, it's funny. I basically live in Doralzuela, like in Doral in Miami, which is like the major population in Doral in Miami is essentially Venezuelan, right?" So the thing is that like, there's so many things that you could develop over time, and the one thing that I would recommend for people to actually take into consideration is their ability to communicate. And the fact that you literally have to be on camera on a consistent basis and look into this camera and provide a convincing point, especially with conviction, then that forces you to actually become better at communicating, whether if you have like a bullet point list or anything like that, or anything that you're basically doing, right? So my main thing is that right now, more than ever, if you literally just commit to a habit of basically getting on video, you can essentially become a better business owner, because literally it translates, it basically correlates and basically just trickles down to all the things that you're doing, because business is basically a personal development scheme. Well, not necessarily a scheme, but more so just like a vehicle for you to be the best person that you are, right? Which is why I love business overall. And you're telling me like the fact that if I literally get on video on a consistent basis, I can become a better communicator, which then will lead me to communicate effectively with my relationships, with my parents, with my family, with my brothers, with my sisters, with my friends, with my relationships. It doesn't matter. The point still stands, though. It's just that, like, as long as you can get on camera, the less fear you have when it comes to the spoken word, and the less fear that you have with the spoken word means the better abilities that you can have conversations leading into the future. Anyway, I'm going to close this video out. I hope you liked the video. If you liked the video, make sure to like and subscribe and turn your bell notifications on, because I put videos out like this every single day and you don't want to miss them. On top of that, if you want to actually create an SMMA of your own to get to 6 figures as soon as possible in less than 90 days, like I did, like my business partner did, click the first link in the description, because we literally do this every single day and we're trying to help out the biggest community within SMMA. On top of that, if you love this video so much and you happen to want to watch more, there's a YouTube video here that's actually recommended by YouTube that you can actually go watch, so don't stop watching there. And I really appreciate you watching up until this point if you did. Otherwise, I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.